We want to share some of our thoughts about the impact that digitalization is having on the field of consulting, and especially on the part of consulting, on culture change consulting, organization development consulting. Um, because there's no question that digitalization has dramatically changed the way that we access expertise and changed our expectations. And in cases where the organization wants to learn um, the knowledge, the content, the expertise of the consultant, setting it up this way so it's basically a learning tool can really have a valuable impact.
Screen is our vision of ASR being a digital guide for our customers, helping our digital customers within the things that they value every day.
What you want as a company is get the insight, have the dialogue, make an action plan, and see where you can improve. Because digitization also has impact on their own employment towards the future.
In this funny spot where employees in many places, again, I'm clear about the United States, are driving the conversation. And know what? The employer doesn't have a ton of latitude. Because if you want top talent, you're going to have to work really hard to keep that top talent, more so than ever before. It's all about the culture. How do we get people to think more about we than I? This is like a seismic ground shift that we're going to be going through. So we got a lot going to happen over the next several years.
But when we talk about the importance of the public sector organizations paying attention to culture, we hear people talk about wanting to work for organizations that offer them that sense of mission, that sense of service, and that sense of supporting their community.
Building the cultural competence of the organization by creating a process where culture is something that we have a framework for, we have a common language around, we have a way to measure it, we have a way to manage it, and we can do that at the organizational, team, and individual levels. And by just being intentional about the process so that people understand that culture is something that's foremost in the minds of the leaders of the organization.
More often than not these days, leaders are being really held accountable for the cultures that they lead. And we know that leaders play that real integral part in shaping the culture of the organization. So it is incredibly important to continually develop the skills of leaders and managers, because we know that that will help shape the organizational culture that they lead.
And optimizing results takes focused action, both at the individual level, the team level, and the organizational level. And tying that action to the strategic priorities is critically important.
Individual leaders make up your leadership teams, and it's important to develop your executive teams down to the individual level to have the greatest impact on your culture, to drive sustainable change, to drive results forward. It's important to give your leadership tools to succeed and create consistency and efficiency overall.
The great companies don't leave, this leadership to chance. They have to take it down to the floor. They have to create some kind of awareness, and it involves coaching a lot of times, because it goes hand in hand with the culture. Who has the greatest impact on culture on a daily basis? It's going to be leadership.
We've seen how good supervisors and managers impact culture, because we know also that the culture impacts turnover and also can impact that labor pool on who decides to come in and work for your company. Because you got to wonder how many are passing you by because we're not actively managing our culture.